Going on, everybody? Welcome back to GearHead Garage. I know it's been quite a while since I made a video, but things just got kind of busy, and also I just didn't really feel like making any videos for a while, so I just didn't. So today, take the old M3 out for a quick run, cycle the fluids. Hasn't been run in months. Disconnect the battery tender here. You can see how I get into this thing. Since my garage is filled with stuff, the truck's really close to it, so this is how I get in. Luckily, I'm pretty flexible. Yeah. So I did the oil change in this thing in October, and I think that's pretty much the last time it's been run. So it is hooked up to the battery tender all the time, so it should fire right up. Thing out of the garage here. So this is a 2005 BMW E46 M3, and see if you can see there. Got 26,000 miles on it. So this car was bought brand new by my mother, and obviously she never really drove it. She kind of bought it as like a second car, but you know, just life got in the way. She never really used it, so I've kind of adopted it from her. 100% stock. I just maintain it, and I'm pretty much the only one that drives it anymore, so I just try to get it out every now and then. And it is late December here in New Jersey, but we have a freak weather day where it's actually pretty nice out. It's in the 50s and pretty nice. So no road salt on the road, so I'm going to take this thing out for a quick rip and just get it going again. It's pretty much all I do with it. Is just, it does sit a lot, unfortunately. I just don't have time to drive it, so it sits a lot, and I'll just take it out every once in a while and put it through its paces, make sure it's still good to go. See if I have any updates on the other cars. That beater, don't worry about it, we'll get to that one day. That's kind of my beater car and winter ride. So on the black truck, nothing new to report, I don't think, on this thing. Haven't really driven it much. If you did see the ride along tour with that truck, I have that as another video. I was dealing with the annoying radio rattle. I got a new dash kit for that, so I actually haven't even driven it since I put that in, so I think that is fixed. On the red truck, there's a few updates. I was having an issue with fuel delivery. Not so much delivery, but it wasn't holding prime in the fuel system, so I ran around a bunch of times trying to figure that out. Ended up replacing a bunch of stuff, but finally got that fixed. Ended up being the fuel pump kit I put in it. The Walbro kit, it has like a little section of fuel line, maybe about 5-6 inches long, inside the fuel tank that goes from the fuel pump to the top of the sending unit and clamps onto a plastic nipple on the lid of the sending unit. The clamp that was on there, it was a spring style clamp, which you're supposed to use because the worm gear style clamps will eventually kind of rub a hole through the hose. Yeah, the spring style clamp was not able to hold enough tension on that, so it was leaking internally and causing it to lose fuel pressure. So it was driving fine, but what would happen is when you go to restart it, it would do a long crank, so it would lose its prime. So I finally figured that out after I ended up swapping injectors, which I'm happy about anyway, because now it has injectors that are in it with, like, you know, 20,000 miles instead of like 245,000 miles. And it has new fuel pressure regulator as well, so all the fuel systems pretty much good to go on that now. One thing I just did last week is I made a custom grill for this. They call it a Satoshi grill, or some people will just call it like a recessed grill mod. Basically what you do is you cut out the whole center section of the grill here. There's little tabs on the bottom and on the top that you got to grind down flat and smooth through a little Bondo on them. On the sides here on the stock grill, there's big holes that it leaves once you cut that out. So I fiberglassed that from the back side, Bondoed it, whole bunch of sanding, a little trim black, and got this mesh material just off of Amazon. And I'm pretty happy with it. The sun's kind of blinding the hell out of me right now, but it looks good. Pretty happy with it. So back to the old M3. Like I said, this thing is bone stock with like 26,000 miles on it. It's in like mint condition. It is a 6-speed manual. Unfortunately, it is a convertible. I wish it was a hardtop, but it's got the Imola red interior, brushed stainless trim. So yeah, let's go for a quick rip in this thing. I'm trying out this new camera mount I got so I can have my hands free. Hangs a little low. See if I can pivot it up a little bit here so you guys can get a better view inside the car. Yeah, not so much. Alright, is what it is. At least it's something. So, close up the garage here. I'll let this thing warm up before we really start ripping on it. Always have to turn the traction control off. It's always the first thing I do when I get in this car. I just did a little maintenance on this thing this past year. Usually I pretty much just go through and change the oil once a year since it doesn't get driven hardly enough to change the oil more than once. So I usually just change the oil, check the fluids. This year I did flush the brake fluid out. The original .4 that was in it was looking pretty gross, so flush the brake fluid. Only other like maintenance thing I've really done to this thing is the rear differential fluid. If you have an E46 M3, you know sometimes they have like a low speed growl in the rear diff when you're making a tight turn, almost like it has like a locker in it. So they have this revised fluid through BMW you can get that has a friction modifier in it. It's supposed to help it. The fluid's super expensive because of course it is, it's BMW. But yeah, it didn't really help. Still has the same noise. This thing always drives good. It's completely filthy right now too, so my apologies for that. I usually like to keep my stuff really clean. I mean, the inside's clean, but the outside is pretty gross. It's covered in dust and dog hair that flies around my garage because my dog is big and poofy. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll get it out one of these days once I have the hose turned back on and get it washed back up. But it is in real nice condition. Really no flaws to speak of with this car, which is kind of rare for a BMW. But you know, doesn't get driven a whole lot, but it does get I do put it through the paces once I take it out. You know, I'll show you here once we get it up to temperature and all that. We don't want to be beating on it while it's still cold and the fluids are cold. So what else has been going on? Doing a little bike work. Been working on some art things. Sold some art stuff recently, so that was good. I did one event Black Friday, so that was nice. I sold one big piece, which I was really stoked on, and sold some little stuff. We will get into my little art space one of these days soon, and I'll do a little video and show you some of the pieces I made and what I'm working on. But that'll be another day here. So, like I said, I'm trying out this new camera mount. It's nice that I can have hands-free, but I'm realizing it's completely useless for POV drives because the camera's too freaking low. So I'm gonna have to get something else, maybe like a head cam or something like that. But yeah, this will work for like wrenching videos, which will be nice. I'll be able to have my hands free. But for car rides and stuff like that and POV drives, yeah, this guy ain't gonna work. But you know, it was cheap, so had to give it a whirl. But like I said, I can still use it for videos about wrenching and stuff like that, where I need both my hands free so I can work on stuff. But all right, I'm gonna run in here real quick. I'll be back in a sec. All right, we're off. So thing's finally up to temperature. Get the oil temp up. So we'll give her a little rip here. Make sure she's still in fighting shape. I'm anticipating a decent bit of wheel spin because these tires are very old and the roads are pretty cold. Like I said, it's decently warm today, but roads are still a little cold, so see if she hooks up or not. So I apologize for the low camera view, but this is first time recording with this mount, so I had to figure out somehow if it was going to work or not. So looks like I'll be going back to the drawing board a little bit. As we wait for traffic to clear here. Actually didn't even really spin it at all. Tripped the tires a little bit going into second and a little bit going into third, but she gripped up good. Just passed a guy in a NA Miata with the top down. God damn. Ain't that warm out. Temp gauge on here says it's 55. But I don't know. I'm not having the top down. So, being winter time here, like I said, we got a pretty nice day here. but being in South Jersey, it does get pretty cold. Next few days, weather's supposed to kind of take a turn for the worse. For the foreseeable long-term forecast, looks like we're not going to have any days above freezing for as far as I can see. So automotive work is going to be held to a minimum here, unfortunately. Had a pretty busy week, probably a couple weeks really, throughout December. Really most of December was pretty busy. November was dead, so there wasn't really much going on, wasn't much to show, but December I was slammed. I have a feeling now I'm probably going to be slow again for a couple weeks. It's just kind of how it goes. I mean, I don't advertise. I have a couple regular customers who I always service their cars, but that's just kind of how it goes, really. I mean, it's feast or famine around here, it seems like. I'm either completely dead and at the point where I'm just running out of money, and then all of a sudden I got more work than I can do in a week. So yeah, it's really just feast or famine. But hopefully one of these days it'll kind of even out a little bit. Once the warmer weather comes around, I'll be slammed again. All my bike customers will be back. Car does sound really good. Even being all stock, the induction noise in these motors is really, really nice. I almost wish I had one of these to modify, but I'm not really into BMWs, to be honest. Like, this car is pretty cool. It's arguably like one of the last good kind of basic driver BMWs that they really made before things got too techy, but still not really my flavor. Nothing I would buy on my own, but I could see how they would be fun to modify for sure. Although the mods for these things is prices on everything's got the BMW tax, so I don't have the pocket change for all that. So yeah, just want to do a quick video just to try out this little mount here and give you guys an update. I know I was trying to do stuff every week, but kind of got in my own head and just didn't really feel like doing it for a while, so I just didn't. But I'm going to try to slowly get back into things here, maybe put out another video soon with some of my art stuff on it. But like I said, I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot here within the next couple months, with it being winter. There's just not a lot of work to do around here. The problem is with the area, it's really a seasonal kind of area. So even though I'm slow and need work to do, everybody else that works around here, all their businesses are slow, so they don't really have the money to put out for stuff that isn't a complete necessity at this time. So nobody around here really has money this time of year. Alright, gonna weasel this thing back into the garage. Get as close to the black truck as I can, so that way I have more room on the passenger side, because that's where my toolbox is. This is always fun. Yeah. All right, she's home. So yeah, at least I got another drive in this thing before the end of the year. Gotta exercise the gaskets. Must exercise the gaskets. Try to make this look as glorious as I can. Oh God, I'm getting too old for this. That was fun. Keeps me limber, really. Oh yeah. Yep, it's right where she needs to be. But Plug in the old battery tender in the old boot here. Keep the battery charged up, nice. Okay. So that's going to do it for now, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me, just bullshitting around. Like I said, there's not much to do right now, unfortunately. But, you know, trying to do something. Something's better than nothing. So, yeah, until next time, like I said, we'll be here and working on some stuff. So, I'll catch you guys later.